All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this evening with a message. And I think I titled it Time to Talk. I'm hoping you out there have something to talk about. Because Sister Deborah going to be all over the place. And I would hope that you come join me. But if not, I got a lane. I'm going to run in it. So Sister Deborah, is coming. And I titled it A Time to Talk. But it's not just a time to talk for you to ask questions, maybe even give us answers. But it's also, I'm going to talk about Leviathan. Leviathan. In the book of Job. So I do want to cover that as well as other issues that I would like to cover. And I come to grip today that when the Father would say to me, Deborah, these things need be. I think about as a teenager being taught what took place before the foundation of the world. And before the foundation of the world, just to really grip what took place before the foundation of the world, because it gives you all the mysteries and the secret and the everything. But this here is something that I do not and I have not been given, but I have been given the fact that he is all power. And everything that is created by that right hand. And that he don't answer to nobody. He don't have to answer to nobody. And to see the things that he has created for the days to come. The day that is before us. I'm like, okay, Father, you taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. But I used to always wonder where all them creatures coming from. I had no idea you created it for a appointed time. It's this. They were already prepared, you guys. So I was just wondering if any of you all, hello in the live chat, it's good to see you. Have anyone thought to read Job 41? And when you read Job 41, the Most High is sending a sign and a message, a very powerful sign and a message. Don't mess with me. I said that. But when he's explaining to Job, I don't know if you all, you read it? Did it ever dawn on you that that's actually something he created? Okay. Did it dawn on you that that's something he created? Were you able to understand it? First and foremost. Because right now, I don't think not a pastor, a bishop, a priest. No, back that thing on down there. But the Roman Catholics, they know exactly what it is. But I'm just shocked. Because all my living, I used to always wonder, what are you going to do with them things? It's some things down yonder. I knew it was some creatures. I knew y'all created some creatures. But I didn't know where and how to apply it. I didn't know how to place it in the right place and where it need be. You see? So I never really thought to even cover Job. And it was before Job. It was spoken of in Isaiah, in Ezekiel. Let me get them all out. Revelation. No, not that wasn't the one in Revelation, but Job 26, Isaiah 51, Psalms 147, Psalms 91, Psalms 89. I'm telling you, this thing was here in the beginning. That's why I tell people, don't go around telling people and teaching people that Adam and Eve was it. No, just because he created them, he didn't say he stopped creating people. I don't know why people insist on, you know what it is? It's that they try their bestest, and they successfully do it, make the Most High the liar, just so they can rest in their truth and teach this thing, write books and be a pastor, a priest, a bishop. These people, whoo, now I see that people, when you say the fear of Yah, I can see now why they don't have the fear of Yah, because you don't know him. And when you don't know him, you don't know how to fear that which you don't know. If you really knew who he was, guess what? You would have the brand called fear. And this is where one of the biggest problems on the earth. They don't fear that one I'm talking to y'all today about. You see? You said it's not the same one in Revelation. No. Not this, not the one in Revelation chapter 20. I think it was. Let me see. Is it Revelation chapter 20? Yeah, in Revelation chapter 20, you know, Satan is considered a dragon. Okay, Father, thank you so much, Father Yah. Thank you so much, Father Yah. He just revealed something to me, and I'm gonna give it to y'all, but I don't want to give it to you right now. But he just gave me something. Wow. But oh, thank you, Father. That's a good one. That's a good one. I would have never. Oh, I know it. But you know, I sat back and I'm like, this entity exists, and not a church on the earth have spoke of it. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that the world knew about it. And what I mean by that is, like you said, the serpent seed, but the more so the elect. I don't think like the world, the Christian church, I don't think they know anything. Those are a bunch of, I'm gonna tell y'all something. That Christian church, they don't know how much fire is gonna be kindled upon them. Okay, because those are the people, that's where everybody hiding. Let me just tell you like that. That's where everybody is hiding under the fake religion called Christian. That's where everybody's hiding. And who's holding them up? Who's using them as a shield? The Roman Catholics. Because the first one gonna go down is the Christians. But long as the Roman Catholic can use them as a shield, people can't really see that Roman Catholic is the head dog up there with the elites, you know, the so-called ooze. They're at Satan's synagogue. All of them. That's what keep him feeling, you know, he on top. They are. But they use the word and the Christian belief as a shield. The Roman Catholic used them as a shield to hide behind. And you hear all these. This is one guy named Marcus Roger. I don't know why nobody don't set him down. I mean, in the way he be teaching, the way he opened his mouth, he called himself to the position that he's in. And when I say he called himself, all you have to do is listen to him. He called himself to that position. And guess what? Him in his position that he's in, he's going to catch more hell than even T.D. Jakes now is going to catch, because he called himself to it. And he's so hateful toward his father, because his father is a melanated man. He's so hateful toward him because he never saw him. You see, he ain't done nothing for him. To where he rides on the side of his mother And he hate the race itself so bad because of his father, to where he refused to accept the fact of anything that has to do with Black people or melanated people. He's got a real problem, a real problem, because he wants to be European and don't understand. You got that blood in you that's not the full European. Your father was a melanated, African American. Let's put it like that. But the people are what I'm looking at from today. I'm saying, okay, so I was saying to the father, so it's just time to really accept that they ain't coming nowhere near home. No, they're not. And that's for real. And I can say it today, but all you're gonna do is watch tomorrow and keep watching it as the day continue. And you're gonna start to see the fall off, because the Christians are hiding behind a title. They're not hiding behind a true and living, righteous, upright, just, marvelous, great, excellent, powerful creator. They're hiding behind a title called Christian, because they think being a Christian is being in there, and they don't understand. No, it's not, baby. You nowhere in there. You so far out of there that you don't know what in there look like, feel like, should be like. That's how far the people are. And in their belief, not in their belief, and in their hearts are a lot of y'all level of evil and wicked and hate. And I'm not just speaking of a certain race. I'm talking about people who grip onto this Christian thing. Everybody hook on to it, and they hate everybody else who ain't hooking on to Christian. They don't like, and they don't want to hear nothing else, because it's like, I'm in the pot called Christian, and we the best one. We the right one. We the righteous. And they have no righteous in front of them. They don't have righteous in back of them. And let me tell y'all, they have no righteous on their left nor their right. All they are upholding is a name called Christian. And they don't even understand the fire is already kindled among the Christians. And they have no idea. So when I think about this beast, would you say? Give it to us, please. Christianity is pride. And it is. I guess you would say that it is, because when you can't seem to move from just the name Christian, you ain't doing nothing that represent Christ. Because if you knew Christ, you would know that it is not detached to the way you conduct yourself as a Christian. So why is it that it's just better for them, I guess, to say, oh, I'm a Christian? So they really been drilled. See how, you know how we say we've been drilled? We had a reason to be drilled, because it was like that was all we had put forth before us. But we ain't gonna even escape it either, because the Father, as he taught me, is, because I had an issue with what happened to all of our forefathers and our so-called men of Yah, when they was on the slave ship, when they came over here. Seemed like if we were his people, where did he get lost? They had it. You can beat them, you can murder them, you can take whatever you want from them, but them being Israel and Judah is something they are. How was it taken to where they couldn't translate it to each generation? Because they left it alone before they got over here. Because I'm just thinking, if they had us piled up in ships, why wasn't we calling on the Most High in a way that we knew him when we was in the promised land? it just gets really confusing. And you try to figure out, what, how did they lose? I know he said we was going to be partially blind. Partially mean half and half. So it ain't that he took it all from us, but somewhere along the line, me. Now I don't ask people, y'all. I go straight to that altar. Wait a minute, Father, y'all. When I'm in the wilderness and I won't, hey, I'm in school. Wait a minute, Father, y'all, I got this. If I have to put up 2, I put up 2. Because I want to know, because all the pieces seem to me is so perfectly together, y'all. Things that he continued to teach me is things that he just putting together. It's like, the Transformers. I don't know if y'all ever had one of those Transformers back in the old days where you just take it and you take that little robot. And next thing you know, you got a truck or you got a car. It's like that. It's just everything just fit. And when you finish, you got a car or you got a airplane or you got a truck. That's the way things seems like to me. As the Father gives things to me, it's like the next thing you know, there it is. So we were talking about the dragon that he has prepared. And what getting me is, I know I shouldn't be so harsh about it, but I am. Because I'm now thinking that's what they, not they, but that's what they, not they, but that's what they, not they, you're going to have to get what I'm saying, have under that, the ice. You see what I'm saying? They know what's down there. They know what's there. You see, that leads me to understand. You see how much the world knows? And we're just getting it as time go on. Why? Because he said, Deborah, I'm going to bring the light out of darkness. Not enough to change nobody, for nobody to get righteous or upright and just, or it's not going to make the crooked straight, Deborah. I'm just going to show the light that's been in darkness all this time. And no one is able to see the light unless he suffered them to see it and understand it at the same time of seeing it. So when we was talking about this dragon, you all said you read it in Job 41. Look how guess where else it's at? Job 40. It's in Job chapter 40. And in Job chapter 41. So I'm like, oh, okay. And you see what he using it for? He using it to discipline Job. Said, try messing with that. He's telling Job, I bet you try doing this. You think you can deal with this right here? Try. I bet you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. Wait a minute. Hold up. What is this thing you telling Job about? What did you do? See, you never hear them preaching and teaching it. Now, you have heard when he had to check Job, when he had to tell him, where was you when I hung the stars? And that all. But you never heard him telling him about this dragon, this monster. Telling Job, you think you can hook him? Why is he saying this to Job? You think you bad? Thank you, Father, y'all. That's really what he's, y'all think y'all something. These people on this earth, Deborah, need to be checked. They don't know who they messing with. Now, if you read it like you said you read it, then you should have been able to get all that out of it. He was not playing. He was checking Job with this here. Job was like looking, I know he had to be not looking, but feeling pretty stupid. He was actually revealing to Job, I got something you and no other man on the face of the earth can defeat but me. Woo! Do you think that your hook can hook this one? Oh, Father, y'all, they missed it. They ain't get it. didn't get it. And then when you come back, then you come back up in Isaiah 43, Ezekiel 29, you end up hearing it in Psalms 89, then you hear it up in Psalms 147, Psalms 91, Isaiah 51, Job 26, Job 40. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. And y'all sitting around thinking that he's somebody to play with. Patty cake, bake a man with. The only reason I wanted you to read 41 is to take you out of that zone and place you in a different zone. And if you didn't get into 41 to see that you was in a total different atmosphere, you need to go back and see it and feel that thing and pick up all those other chapters regarding this same monster that Yah has placed over the sea. Woo, Father Yah. They don't get it. See, it's going back to telling you all exactly what I was saying at the beginning, what took place before the foundation of the world. He had all his T's crossed and his I's dotted for real. We say that saying, but we really don't understand what we're saying. We really don't know what we're saying. We really don't understand what we're saying. I explained 2 videos a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It's time to see that light coming out of darkness. And that light ain't coming to play with you. It's coming to bring truth in the fullness of what truth consists of. Because let me back you up and land you down real quick. Now, how is it we trying to teach something and we don't know all of it? Nobody knows it. Give or take, give me 20% and I'll be good. I can go to my grave, sleep, and 20% is good enough because I'm already enduring and long suffering that alone. So all I need is 20%. But to understand, how are we to teach the people today? The people first and foremost can't be taught, to be honest. Well, what is it that he want us to see in it? Who is this that you shining this light on in the midst of darkness, Father? Who is it that you bringing this light out to? You better catch it. He's bringing that light out of darkness to somebody. You better be ready to catch it. Because knowing about this beast, this monster, he's sitting here telling Job, and Job ain't got nothing to do with it, but he's showing us through Job. He's telling us through Job. And we over in Revelation trying to figure things out. Don't know what this is, what this. He created a monster that no man on the earth can defeat. Want me to tell you how deep it was? I said, wait a minute. I read all them verses out of them chapters. I said, everybody talking about this creature. It's a monster. It's a creature. But guess what? It is detached to my Father's right hand. Woo! I'm telling you, it's so much to where it ain't nothing. Once he give it to you, you be like, but it's like pieces, Father, just, and there it is. So I am going to enjoy every bit of life. If he let me live like he's letting me live now, if I keep on living like he's allowing me to live to where I can grip this stuff that he's revealing to me in this light, I'm going to take it for all it's worth. I ain't got time to try to pretend I'm something that I ain't. I'm going to eat up all that light he revealed to me. I'm like, wait a minute now, Father, you down here you done made creatures in the ocean. I said, that's about right. To me it is. Because when you think of that right hand, who are you to tell him what to create with his own right hand? How dare we want to put a limit on him? Here it is. People is trying to make Cain take his sister for a wife because they don't understand that he didn't stop creating when he created Adam and Eve. Sit y'all tails down. Stop trying to make it not make sense. It all makes sense. Cain ain't sitting here talking to himself, telling them when he go here, they gonna take my life. Who is they? His sister? And he going off the area where his mother and father and family is at. So who is he talking to? See, because everybody's stuck on stupid. All they think is this creator, oh, he can do nothing. He made Adam and Eve, and that's it. That's it. Then Adam and Eve, they didn't even have sense enough to realize Adam and Eve did not, Abel wasn't the seed of Adam at all. Only Cain. See, they never pick that up. They never pick that. They won't pick it up. Because if they have to pick up Abel being a spiritual seed and not of Adam, guess what? You know what that means? That shows you right there. The mighty right hand of the Father can do that. He can do that. So he's sitting up in there talking to Job, telling him about the monster. Telling him how he couldn't defeat him. He couldn't, no man. Because he knew he had invested his right hand in it. That monster come to do the work of Yah. And I truly believe that he has them having this creature set aside for a purpose, and the world knows it. And when I say the world, I ain't talking about these small people. I'm talking about the four corners, those who have the power of the four corners, who got these things all under the sea and got these cities under the ground and stuff like that. Those type of people, the Roman Catholics and the Jesuits and the fake ooze, and then Satan on top of them. Oh man, Satan getting blamed for a lot of things that Satan ain't got the power nor the authority to have. But that's our best scapegoat, is to use him. He ain't crap. And matter of fact, he never did say he was. We said. We put him on his pedestal. We bring him up high. But I'm like saying, okay, wait a minute. I'm finna go into this. This stuff is getting too deep, Father. He said, Deborah, you questioned me for many years about all them monsters. And now you see it. You still kind of like, wait a minute, but you knew it all the time. And I did. The old man that I used to sit down and talk to when I was 10, he'll tell you. She was a little girl. She used to always talk about it. Yes, I did. I always knew things, even though I didn't know it. You see? But to know it today in a way of this is how the fear of Yah is needed as a gift from him. Because when you know him, you know why you need to fear him. Yeah, he bring that fear in you, but you fully understand why I need to fear him. Who wouldn't fear him? That create monsters, that have all that type of power to turn the whole world upside down if he choose to. And I mean, really flip it one side up if he wanted to. To know him like that. To know him like that. So let me tell you what I had to do. I had to go into an area I do not go into. I said, wait a minute, Father, y'all, let me see if Enoch know anything about this monster. Enoch not only knew about the same creature, but told you about the creature that he got on the earth. There's another one in the land, likened to the one in the sea. No man can defeat him. All you do is listen to where Yah is questioning Job. Why would he be questioning Job for us to stand around today and act like it ain't nobody, he ain't worth being feared? Oh, the Most High ain't nothing. He ain't got no power. What will make you think somebody who's capable of creating things like that, that they ain't got all power? See, this is what's wrong. This is what's missing. The fear is never in man at all. I can understand why he created these things. Then I go into here and I say, okay, pull up Enoch. Let me see what Enoch had to say. Enoch talking about, yeah, he's in the sea. He's over the sea, in the abyss of the ocean. And there's another one called something else, beginning with a B. I didn't even write that name down. He's in the land, under the land. So when you get over in Revelation, you hear all these creatures coming up. Wait a minute, hold up. It all makes sense. And you're wondering, well, okay, what is that they got in the anarchy? Frozen. They don't want nothing to melt. They got something under there, and everybody know they do. But what gets me is it pulls right back to the power of the Creator in heaven, his right hand. He has the power to create something and then create those to be the overseer, to watch over until I get ready to use it. Just like he had the power to tell the ocean don't overrun itself, in a sense, or he can part the sea and because we never care to know who our real Creator is and his power that rests therein. So if you really read Job, it should have took you to not just Job, but all the other verses to try to make it make sense. Then when it took you to other verses, you started to say, wait a minute, this thing been here all this time? Oh, yeah. Yah created it for destruction. And no man can defeat it but Yah. That's what he was telling Job. Just imagine something like that. When we would think, oh, that's Satan, that's the devil, that's the evil. Y'all got something that'll take Satan down with one swallow. That's why I said you couldn't have read it. Because all you had to do is go there and then realize, wait a minute, this monster is with Yah. He can take Satan down at any time. You remember? Okay, let me give you an example. You remember how I was telling y'all about the two witnesses? How they're going to be afraid to bother them. They're going to be troubled by the two witnesses that's going to come. Remember? And the two witnesses had the power to what? Bring fire. They had power to stop rain from coming. They had extra power, y'all. Remember me? Y'all probably, I think I've made, since I've been on here, probably 6 videos about the two witnesses, just showing you their power they had. But my thing was this. Hear me now, y'all. Hear me. I'm like saying, wait a minute. They couldn't kill them. Nobody on earth. Y'all called the dragon in the bottomless pit to come up to take them out. Nobody ever asked the question. Everybody just go on there telling many lies and thinking they in there and they doing. I'm like saying, why is it you calling something from the bottomless pit to take them out? Who were they to where they couldn't be taken out to where you had to go down yonder, Father Yah, to the bottomless pit to grab one to come take them out. That's how y'all going to rumble. Let me say it, not going to, Deborah. That's how he is rumbling. So when we're seeing all this chaotic stuff going on and we're out here as human beings, and this is what we're doing, we're trying to justify it and clarify it and identify it and make it make sense to the system, to the YouTube and all these things, making it make sense out of our own understanding. Because if we bring it to the level where y'all at, then everybody gonna know. Wait a minute, y'all. There's somebody greater than any of our thoughts, have more power than what we think we have. You see? But see, nobody wants to take the message in that area because then y'all would have to get the glory. But I heard the Father say, when I take that remnant up out of here, then, Deborah, and then shall the heathen know that I am. What do you mean, Father? I told you, when they see me take the worst of the worst off the earth, they going to know who I am because they going to say, well, why would he want to take them? Those people that done him like this, they done him. See, they know who you are. Why we have Judah running around here like they got to reveal something to somebody. We shouldn't even be revealing in this day, this time, in this day. We shouldn't even be revealing Yah to nobody. It's clearly seen. Even what I'm talking about. I had to go where I don't normally go, to Enoch. And he talking about the same creature. I'm like saying, like, wait a minute, hold up. If Enoch knew about it, wait a minute, hold up. What's going on here? Now, did I know it was creatures, monsters? Yeah, because I always said to the Father, why are you creating them things down yonder? I used to say that all the time. I knew they exist, but not to knowing what I know today. Because guess what? I know now it's all in telling you who some of them things we're talking to. Not some of them things, how Yah was talking to Job regarding. And you would think that the world don't know that they are down there, that this monster is not existing. You all are the fools. And you're right. They had to give up. You know how long Godzilla been existing since I was a little bitty girl. That shows you how long they knew it was down there. But what happened to us? To where we didn't take it serious. Why is it? Because you know what, to take it serious, guess what? Will bring the fear of this whole world to the level who Yah is. To the level of who Yah is. Will it get them straight? No. Will it make them crooked? No. But it would have brought some sort of light. You look at this stuff and you see how, like the ball was dropped in Genesis. How could everything be cut out like that to where we can't even blame them for even printing the King James Bible? Because this Bible exists during our time. It didn't exist back in their day. How is it we are so blind to everything? So blind. So when I used to go up in Revelation and I'm like, well, wait a minute, where are them beasts coming from? What was that? Is it in Revelation 9? Where those 4 beasts coming up out of the Euphrates? See, stuff like that. He's already letting you know my power. Mess with me. And nobody have no fear of him at all. My fear grows even stronger. I got the brand already. Because I even fear the fact that I can't afford to go any way but to the narrow gate. Because I go any way, that means that this is how I feel. If I go any other way, my children. That's how I think. I think like that. I even have said to the Father, you gave me all these children to keep me straight. Oh, I said it. And if I felt it, don't need me to holding it back now. I've been felt that way. He know it. All these children to keep me on that narrow way. I can't afford to go the opposite way because they watching me, y'all. All of them. You see? So as a little bitty girl, the fear of monsters was revealed to me in dreams and in visions. And that's why I'm so high on it today. Because those dreams and vision was real. Like when my mother, she would sit and she would say, boy, remember you used to always say, when you was little, you was always talking about you had a vision and you saw a dream, you saw this, you saw that. She'll tell y'all. I'm so thankful that I do have her to vouch for me telling her when I was a little girl. These things were already before me. You see? But to see today that you don't see any fear of Yah because you don't know him. How can you have fear of Yah if you don't know what you're fearing? Oh, yeah. Never thought of it like that. You can. You got your homemade fear, your self fear, the flesh fear. But to know why, you know how some people say, well, I don't think he want us to fear him. Why would we have a God that want us to fear? Baby, you missing it. You missing it. So I can't afford to go nowhere but the straight gate. So when I'm hearing this here, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. You mean Job was whooped by this? Job was told this too? Now it makes sense today. Not just, it was Godzilla, but all the creatures that's always coming out of the sea. You know how many movies they made like that? So many. Always had movies. Since I was little with monsters coming out of the sea. But the reality is, guess what? Y'all have created them. So I had to go in all these verses and see this same monster. Is it Luvaika? When I see this, and I see that my last check was with Enoch, and he spoke of it. He's in the deep. He's in the deep. He's in the deep abyss, ocean. That's where he's at. And I'm like, ain't that nothing? And y'all didn't have to tell Job, but he did. He told Job so we would understand that it's present. And that's like with a lot of things. Like, I'm going to give you an example. When he said, when Adam knew Eve, she said, Yah gave her a man child. And she bare a man child. Yah gave her a man child. But you never thought that, wait a minute. It never said Adam knew Eve again. And they said, Yah gave me another male child. They didn't say that. Adam didn't know her again to have Abel, but she had Abel. You see, two different entities on the earth, same way where they're going to be listed in two different books in the kingdom. But you would never have gotten nobody on this. I ain't going to say nobody, because I'm sure there's some that have looked at it and see that this is why Cain was angry with his brother, because they were two entities that came down. One had the hate for the other to the level of where you see people are today. Not because you did something to me, not because you wronged me, but because you black, because you this, because you that. You see? All the reasons on the earth that you feel that hate to destroy somebody, to rob somebody, to murder somebody, to rape somebody, to harm somebody, all in you. That's a monster in itself. That's a monster in itself. But what did he say to Job? This one I created, can't no man defeat. And that's what he was telling Job. And as I was reading it, and I'm like, well, here it is up in Isaiah, in Ezekiel, in Psalms. Come on. And I'm like saying, this thing is, this thing is deep. It's deep. And it's something that is detached to Yah right hand. That's all I can say. Now, when I get to talking about the right hand, that just ends it for me. That right hand alone is enough. Say, okay, God, I got you, Father. I got it. I got it. If nobody else don't, I got you. Because that's really what he was telling Job. But this is what he created. So when we wonder, why did he go to the bottomless pit, release something? Why is these beasts coming out of the ocean? See, we thinking that, okay, this is Satan coming up out of the ocean. See, we don't understand, because the fear of Yah is not graved in us enough to get. That's how that right hand works. And then bringing that stuff out to light is to show you his power, his authority, who he is, and why he is are branded to fear him, because they know him and what he's capable of doing. You see, it ain't the fear to say, oh, I'm so scared he gonna do this. No. It's a fear that you know him. It's the type that hey, I know him. I know what he can do. Because if I sit back and I say throughout my living, I'm like, okay, he never stopped this. He didn't come down and stop this. He let them do this. He let them do this. Right there is a level of fear, because you don't know. Like I told you, I know that he can, but I don't know if he will. Even when it come down to me, I know that you can, but I don't know if you will. But the mindset of people in their religion, in their self-centered, and they ego, their pride, they really believe they got him checked from A to Z, knowing they ain't even got off of A yet. But they drill themselves so well to have known him and really don't know him. So as I was looking at that, I thought that was deep, that this monster exists and nobody ever preached and teach and taught this thing in the order in which it should have been. So I, Sister Deborah, can't even put that as a ball dropped, because I hear him talking to Job. I hear him talking to in Isaiah and Ezekiel and Psalms. So that ball ain't dropped. Then Enoch come pull up, talking about, yeah, he know about the monster. And I'm like, so when the Euphrates dry up for coming up, what do they call him? Let me look here and see. I think that was verse 9. Verse 9 one. Let me see what they call it. Euphrates. Oh, he called them angels loosed. But notice the angels were like horsemen. Oh man, that's a battle there. And it described them having breastplates brimstones on their head. The heads are like lion, out of the mouth issue fire. Oh, that sound like that dragon. Yeah, that's what he does. Did I tell y'all that? The one that he was telling Job about, he breathed fire. Listen to this one. Out of their mouths issue fire and smoke and brimstone. Out of their mouth, y'all. You see? So what I'm trying to say to you all, we're watch this here. Watch this here. But these, in verse 18, this is Revelation chapter 9, and verse 18, it says, by these three was a third part of man killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouth. Verse 19, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto a serpent. That's a dragon. And the heads and had heads, and with like a serpent, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Just imagine what them things were. A tail, like a serpent, breathing fire, smoke and brimstone coming out their mouth. Come on now. This is why we should a long time ago feared Yah. The fear of Yah also bring us to a level of trusting him, leaning to him, and know that no one can harm us as long as we are resting in his bosom, because this is what he can do. You see? With that type of fear, it leads you to understand nobody can't do nothing to you with somebody who got that type of authority and power. You see? So you can feel, hey, I'm okay. Because if he own all this, I'm okay. You know, I'm going to be okay. Just like I used to tell my son. I told Jonah, I said, Jonah, you can't trust people out here. My baby, my youngest, he trusts everybody. He just think everybody is the goodie is the good. But I said, you get out here and you're in a situation, just call on the Yah of your mother, and he'll help you. Don't call me. Don't call on me, but call on Yah. That's the one I come to know. That's the one I'm going to always know. Since I was 4, even to today, I see him even greater than great can even be defined. That's how I see him. And I thank him for the spirit of fear, because all that I know makes sense of why he would give me the spirit of fear. A lot of people run around here, oh, we're not supposed to fear. Why should we fear? Baby, that's that flesh fear you talking about. Sister Deb talking about spiritual fear. It's 2 of them. So even knowing that all of this and all of the others back in the days, the ancient days, knew about him creating this type of stuff. So when you run, and then you sit and you wondering and never gave it a thought to go on and do your search and find out what they got down in the anarchy under that ice. I already know it's a creature or 2 or 3 or 4. I already know that. That's why they can't trying to keep it frozen. They got their reason. They know what they're doing. And we will look at them and know that they are evil and wicked. Yes, they are. But they still doing what Yah has them to do. Not because they respect Yah. It's because that's who Yah is. He rule. I know. We think we rule. No, baby. You bent. You are bent up and down. Matter of fact, you been all around. If you think that we rule, because we don't. Never did, never will. And in due season, not due season, Deborah, stick with the day. In this day, you're going to see more so of what he's bringing out the light. Because me getting to the point where I'm listening to him sitting here breaking this down to Job, and then I'm going all over back up in these other ones and realize that, wait a minute. This stuff is just deep. It's deep enough for me to bring it and put it before you and ask you to read it. But in reading it, it also took you could go all over until you realize that it was Yah all the time. That's the mystery of it. It was Yah all the time. It was that right hand. It was him all the time. And I understand people won't look into it because they would never look into the fact that he didn't just create Adam and Eve. Why would we take it like that? Why would we just put him and limit what this book says? No. Adam and Eve didn't rule everything. And everybody would say we all came from Adam and Eve. No, you didn't. You didn't. Because Adam and Eve didn't. Adam and Eve. What's his name? Abel didn't come from Adam and Eve. He was a spiritual seed, like unto Yeshua. But Christ was the spiritual seed in the Son of Man. You see, that one was born of the flesh of a woman. But Abel would come down as representing the spiritual seed. You see? So it wasn't a seed of Adam, is what I'm saying. He wasn't a seed of Adam. That goes back to show you, stop putting limitation on my Father. He do whatever he want and how he want. That's the problem with people. They want to put him in a little black box and say, okay, you can only do this because that's all I can understand. That's all I can comprehend. That's all I can grip. No. You get in that box because he can't fit in that box. Okay? And the box ain't created for him. It's created for you. So don't put him in a little bitty black box and limit him because you don't know. Because you don't understand. You don't get it. You don't grip it. Because the truth of the whole matter, he said he will be your teacher. And he will come and he will teach you all things. Not you teach him. Or you just know all things because you just here on the earth. No. Because you know me, I don't deal with Enoch. But as I was sitting here trying to piece all this stuff together, I said, wait a minute. Let me key up and see if Enoch knew something about it. So I keyed up Enoch. What was Enoch? Enoch 65 through 68 and Enoch 60. I was like, wait a minute. So he knew about the monsters, but he knew about two of them. He said one is on the land. He made one for the land and one for the earth, but no man can defeat them. And then if you really begin to really, like if you really listen to Job, it was almost like the monsters were Jah. I mean, he just letting you know our rule. Because we want to put him like unto us, a man, Romans chapter 1. We don't make him like beasts and birds and fowls of the air. We want to put him low because we low. So we figured, okay, since we low, when you come on and be low with us. And it said that. It said exactly that. And a lot of people wouldn't teach it and preach it because it would bring conviction. It would show people who they are. Let me see if I can pour that into something he was saying. Because I thought that. I said, but Father, that's sad. He's Deborah. That's the way, that's you know, now you see from the kingdom. That's what he always tell me. Now you see it from the kingdom. That's what he tells me all the time. Because right here, it talks about in Romans chapter 1 and verse 18, for the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteous men. The wrath. Oh, see, you don't get it. You don't get it. It's saying, for the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. They know. They know it's monsters who hold the truth in unrighteousness. So they knew. Because that which may be known of Yah is manifested in them to know. For Yah has shown it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world is clearly seen, Deborah. That's why he get on me. Deborah, these things need be. These things need be. But this world try to go dumb city on my father. But then they uplift Satan. You put Satan on a pedestal, but you degrade my father, the one who created Satan. You want to put him low and create and keep evil and wicked and darkness in this world on high, and then you want to bash him low. I'm grateful for the narrow gate and the broad too. And when he said he enlarging the hell, I'm in there. Thank you, Father. I get it. I'm in there with you, Father. Good deal. Because it should have been enlarged. That means plenty of room. Plenty of room. Now, as I'm in here in Romans chapter 1, he says in verse 19, because that which may be known of Yah is manifested in them. So we can walk around here and believe the lie if we want to, and live the lie and die the lie. Okay? For Yah has shown it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, Christ. See, they know, so that they are without excuse. So what he's saying is, we can run around here and go to dumb city all we want. In him, you ain't gonna have no excuse. Now listen to what 21 said. Because that when they knew Yah, they glorified him not as Yah, neither were thankful, but because the vain in their imagination, in their what imagination, in their what in their imagination, and in their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Verse 23, and changed, there you go. They changed the glory of the uncorruptible Yah into the image made like unto the corruptible man. That's where the problem is at. That's why he's allowing all of these men, these priests, these pastors, these apostles, these prophets, because they booming on this devil platform, and they not prophets of Yah, but they are prophet of this world. Okay, pastors, ministers, evangelists, watchmen, seers, they're out here lying, and that's what I experienced today. I said, how could y'all be so close to truth but continue to lie? And I'm going to give you a little insight of what I meant by that. Verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and they changed the glory of an uncorruptible Yah into an image like a corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore Yah also gave them up to an uncleanness thought through the lust of their own heart, and to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. So that's a whole lot, y'all. That was a whole lot said, but you would never get what he's talking about. This is where the pedophiles and all of those who knew the truth, took the scrolls, smeared it, messed it up, changed Yah that's uncorruptible into an incorruptible, a corruptible man. Those are those who took those scrolls and redid them and gave us the book. Said, there you go. Follow this. But what they didn't know, the same one that created these monsters knew how to create his own will. Everything's still going according to his will. When they thought that they was going to take whatever they want out of the scrolls, add things in it to change it so people won't ever find their way home, guess what they didn't know? I'm going to show you how dumb they were. They was just that dumb because they didn't know the power. And that's what they was missing. Because the power still ruled. No matter when you rule it, he still rule you. He made sure that when he come in you, he's going to teach you truth. That's why he said study. Just study. Because tarry when I come. That's the day of Pentecost. That's what they did. They tarried. They played, they sung, they tarried. But they waited till that Ruach came. Without that Ruach, they couldn't tell us nothing. And this is what you see amongst the Christians. They don't have his Holy Spirit. The Christian people don't have his Holy Spirit. Let me tell you what they got. They got money, first and foremost. That's the main thing they live on. That's the main thing that put them as the number one. I don't think they're the number one. I think they're the second because I think the Roman Catholic is the number one. And then, no, I think the Christians could be the third because the Jewish, the synagogue of Satan is the second. So they ring up there with the Catholics. They're all in that together. So the Christians, they are the one that's supporting taking the word, placing it into a book. And if you got your book and you about right, if you about really about the Father, you would read it and then also wait for what they waited for back in the days before they had this book. Oh, no, you ain't gonna wait on that one. You know why? Because you want to make him like unto a man. Even when you know him, you knew him. But what did you do? You took them certain things out of the scroll, you added it to the book, you smeared it, you made it to where you thought people weren't gonna find their way home. But what you didn't know, I had a ram in the bush called the Lamb was coming, and Christ, the Son of Yah. And when that was done, then the Holy Spirit was waiting to come in us and to teach us from that time on. So a lot of us are living today. We need to be more grateful to the point that we're in the living time where the Ruach now lives in us. We don't have to sit up on YouTube, listen to nobody. Because the Ruach, if he's going to teach you, he's going to teach you. He's going to teach you, like he said, all things. That's what it says. He ain't going to teach you some things. He's going to teach you all things. Even when you're out in the streets, on your workplace, in the hospital, no matter where you at. When you know him like that, you know him like that. Because I woke up this morning, give me a word, Father. Give me a word. That's all you have to do. It's just trust that he going to give you what he feels you need because he know everybody. You don't. So you want him to give you what you need to give to the people. Because the people ain't yours. You don't know them. But he do. So you want him to give you a word of what he knows that the people need. Okay? So all of this that's actually in this book is really to really feed the ones who are the shield. And that's for the Roman Catholic. That's why Roman Catholic also had their own Bible. I know y'all might not know that, but they do. They do. They really do. Because I got a couple of them. And they don't say the same thing as the King James Version says. Then I got one that got all the books in it. You see? But I will say to you all that it taught me to keep that fear I've always had, because I can't take it out even if I did. But now I know the reason why, because it's more stuff about who he is that causes one to really fear Not like the fear of scared. What do you, your spirit can't be scared. Why? Because it has the Holy Spirit in it. So it ain't that type of fear. Okay? It's the fear of knowing how the powerfulest thing that can being that can ever exist, that has created all things and have power, it's just all of this about him. You fear him because all these things that is about him, he's worthy to be feared. You see? And we think he's so easy. We think he's so weak. I know he ain't, because when I went to asking him as a teenager, why you didn't stop them from doing all they're doing it, he ain't going to. He don't rumble based on what we say. That's another fear. I told y'all, with me, I know that he can, but I don't know if he's willing. Let's say, for instance, I get out here and I have a real bad car accident. You think I won't call on him? I call on him. I call on that right hand, but guess what? It's the back of my head and in front. I know that you can, but I don't know if you will. That's just showing you. Don't ever think you know him to know his every move, because you don't. That might be the time he want to take you up out of here. So you know that he can heal you and he can be, you know that. I know all that. But I don't know if he's going to. Because when you get to the point where you think you know him so well, he's supposed to do did, the way you see things to be and it's supposed to fit, then you playing with yourself. Because that's not how he rumbles. He needs you to trust in him, believe in him, turn to him, ask him, well, what do you think about this? Should I do this? Should I do this? What do you think I should do about this, Father? Y'all, what do you think I should do? That's what he's there for. But we make all our own decisions and choices. And then later on say, I prayed about it and I just knew he wanted me to, we don't ever really turn to the face of Yah and ask him, well, what about this, Father? Should I do this? Or lead me and show me what I need to be doing or what I need to be. Should I do this, Father? Or should I ask him? A lady told me that years ago. Always, Deborah, ask him what he think about what you want to do or what you going to do. Always ask him. We need to give him that because he knows it. So here, regarding this creature, I was grateful to the fact of knowing that it went all the way back to Isaiah and Ezekiel, Psalms, this animal, Job more than Psalms, Job in 26. I just really felt good that it wasn't just Job 41. And I saw it also in Job 40. So it shows me that, see, Deborah, when you be talking about the ball is dropped, you see how much to where people today, they don't have. That's why you wonder why people don't repent. They don't have no fear. Why do you think these people going around here doing the things they're doing? They don't fear him. They don't fear going to hell. They don't fear nothing. Because nothing has been revealed regarding who he is. He said they turned the uncorruptible Yah into a corruptible man. So they see him like him. That's what the Christian does. I got on this thing and I was listening to this one guy, and he one day he was talking something that was truth, but I just got on there to see what his title, when I read his title, and just listening to him. I'm going to share this with y'all. What I also can see is people are seeing what's going on over in Israel. And they're disappointed in them getting away with the things that they are doing. But I want to assure you that these people are blaming Israel for a lot of things that they're doing, but not to the point of blaming them for not being the true Jews. I have an issue with that. They don't want to let go of the fact. They blame Israel for everything, but they don't want to let go of the fact that Israel is not Jews. And if Israel is not Jews, then how in the wrecks behind did the world supply them with all their wealth? How could that have gone on? You see what I'm saying? That's why I said don't go around talking about they awakening. Don't go around talking about, oh, they getting it, or they questioning Israel. I don't care if I don't give a rest behind if they are questioning Israel. If you live on this earth and have not picked up the smeared Bible and the KJV, which a lot of them have, the 1611, and it tells you who they are, but yet you insist on, you cannot and will not have any truth, none whatsoever, as long as you keep upholding Christian as your God, because that's what they do it. And with that, they figure, oh, God is my Christian, because they connect Christian with a European man. They ain't gonna let that go, y'all. They ain't gonna let that go. They can have, how can you say that you even save? How could you say that you have the Holy Spirit and you're serving and worshiping a man that is not the Son of Man? How could that be? How could you be people of Yah, not knowing that the Son of Man came down the same nationality as the ones you hate? You see what I'm saying? So all this game plan that's on this earth, they thinking they crossing out Yah. Y'all don't know it. They don't give rest pine about you. They thinking they crossing out Yah. Like Marcus Rogers. He just is, that man is all, he don't even know what he holding on to. He's a very foolish man and leading a foolish crowd of people. A lot of them are. They've been on this devil platform leading a multitude, but they refuse to do their study on the word Christian, nor the Christian religion. If they do their study, they know that the Roman Catholic created Christian. This is not the Christians of the Bible as you think. They created Christians. And listen to what I'm saying now. They created Christians as a religion to be their shield. Now, in where Paul was is to the Gentiles. And they called themselves Christians. When you do your study and see how they died back in that time, after Paul, they was killing them like crazy. Then you realize those Christians ain't the same Christians today. It ain't the same people. Those people were dying to be called people of Christ. These people today, they're killing. They're hateful. They're prideful. Self-centered. They are not any type of representative of Paul's Christians. This is a worldly Christians here today. You see? That's who they are. The ones that the Roman Catholics set up real good to be their shield, to go on the front line for them. So they want you to think that there's going to be a one religion. And the Muslim is saying they're going to be the one, and the Christians saying they're going to be the one. When which one is going to be the one? You know what they're going to do? The Roman Catholics and the Jesuits, which is not the Jesuits, the fake ooze, they're going to let them two battle each other to eliminate them. That's what they're going to do. It's called kingdom against kingdom. The Christians here today, you see over in Africa how they taking lives of those Christians by numbers. Y'all didn't see that, did you? Yeah, a lot of y'all don't pay attention to it. They taking them back great. They killing them. They're slaughtering them by great numbers. Over where? In Africa. When you say you're a Christian, okay, that's about right. That's not a religion that represents the Creator. You see? So the reason why you're being slaughtered that way is because your God is a religion called Christianity. That's what you trust in. So what do you think? He gonna come from the kingdom to rescue you in your belief? That's reason why people like Catholics and Christians is because it allowed them to get away with their hate. It allowed them to have the level of evil and wicked to the highest and still claim they go into glory, that they are people that represent the Creator. That's why people run to Christians and run to Catholics, because it allowed them to not see Yah for who he is, who he was, and who he's going to be. We can eliminate all that. We can just go under the Christians and the Catholic. We good. All of these religions was created by the Roman Catholics and the Jesuits. All of them. All of them. All of them. Those that are Muslims, this is what I'm hearing. They're saying that we are the people of Yah. We are the true Jews. We don't want to hear that from you. You ain't got nothing to say to us. You were partaker in it when they were doing what they were doing to us. You done it too. Now you want to try to get us to agree with your religion as Hebrew Israelites, so that we can agree with yours, because you wants to now say that we are the people. No, we don't need. Look, Sister Deborah don't need not nobody to tell me who I am. First and foremost, it don't mean a rat's behind who they say I am or who I say I am. I'm nothing but a servant of the Most High Yah. All these other clowns, y'all gonna book up for a clown show. I'm not in it. But as they trying to get the Black people to really join in with their belief in their religion, Farrakhan ain't worth a dime. Farrakhan ain't worth a dime. Farrakhan sold out his people a long time ago. Farrakhan sold his people out a long time ago. And for the fools can stand up today and act as if Farrakhan represent them, when y'all come, they're going to be left. See, this is why I'm trying to tell y'all, these people ain't going nowhere. Because you're a Christian, you thinking you going when he come. No, you won't. No, you won't. A lot of people don't understand. He got his servants down here. And they telling you, you ain't going nowhere. Not this game that everybody's playing on this earth. And you thinking when glory? No. And I'm sitting here saying, but Father, I keep seeing something different. Why is everybody thinking this? He said, because that's how far gone they go. See, they don't understand that y'all going to collect his remnant and destroy a lot of things, y'all. All this that's going on, I know y'all can't see it, but it's here. Okay? It's here on the earth. The chaos that he had already prophesied is here on the earth. Okay? Now, when he comes, he's going to get a people. Okay? The house of Israel, take him to the wilderness, take his remnant out, leave them there. Okay? His remnant going to Mount Zion. Okay? During that time, he's going to destroy the United Snakes of America. Oh, he's going to destroy a lot of places, y'all. But this country going down. Something's going to hit the country and it's going to take the whole land into the ocean. Okay? So he's going to destroy this. See, it's so many things that got to take place. Revelation has to be fulfilled up in there. Satan has to be chained. Yeshua coming with his angels to collect, not before he come to take us to Mount Zion. We have to spend that 1,000 years, y'all, in Mount Zion. So Yeshua is not coming to collect from the four corners. Because if he's coming to collect from the four corners, remember he's coming and he's going to separate the goats from the sheep. You remember it says that the dead in Christ shall rise. The dead, not in Yeshua, but the dead in the power, which is Christ, shall rise. Why? Because they have to rise up to where we already is going to be living. That's the ones in Mount Zion. The dead in Christ going to rise up to meet the ones that's living already in Mount Zion. You see? That's how that's going to happen. And we're going to be caught up from that level. But that's after the 1,000 years, y'all. Because now he's getting ready. He's going to throw down also on the earth. God and Magog, they trying to make y'all think that that's now. No, that ain't got nothing to do with now. Because we are not supposed to be here in this land of our captives. So it's so many things that's still taking place and got to take place. But I like to say this to y'all. Those are the things that's right before us. So many things that's in Revelation is got to take place. Those beasts that's coming from out of the bottomless pit, and all those people, what 2/3 of the of people going to be killed or something like that. There has to happen. A whole bunch of things have to happen. So when you're thinking that this is the time where everything is at the end, no, baby. This is the time of perilous times, tribulation, judgment, wrath, lawlessness. Everything is on the earth. He brought the principalities. Now they on the earth. Now there's a battle that's taking place. Now, when is it going to get heated? When Yah assigned the heat. And not until he assigned the heat. Everything is ready for the battle. Everything is on earth ready for him to call it out, call it on, for everybody to start doing what they're supposed to be doing in this end day, in this day. But people are looking for Yeshua. You don't need to look for him. He ain't coming to get you. Ain't no rapture. He ain't coming to get you. Now, when he comes, he's going to come on the four corners. And yes, he's going to collect his. And he also going to collect from other nations. And he's going to bring them to his glory. And he's going to separate them from, as they are written in the book. The goats and the sheep for eternal. It's already written. But everybody is looking for him to come today or tomorrow. No. Mount Zion has to take its place. Him taking his people. Satan getting chained up. Bound, in a sense. So it's things that has to take place, but it's nothing greater. Those things is for y'all to take care of. But the issue is what's going on now. You don't have people fearful of nothing. And what I mean is by fearful, they're not fearful of Yah, who got all this in control, that's going to make all this stuff take place. And it's just going to go one after the other. And you ain't going to even see where it started and where it's going to end. A lot of people say they've been saying that for the longest. Oh, yes. He said you would say that. But he got a big surprise for you. A big surprise. Because no one takes it serious. But again, I say that if you learn how he's bringing the light out of the darkness in the end days, it will blow your mind. Because it's stuff that he's revealing that has never been spoken of. And I sit back and I say, Father, everything you keep teaching me, I ain't heard nobody teach it. And I used to be in the church. So I mean, ever since I was young. But I ain't heard nothing. I ain't heard nobody teaching and preaching the stuff that he reveals to me. So I know that the ball been dropped and that it's a lot that ain't been spoken of. And it's not going to be. Anybody in the live chat? Let me start reading now. I guess I said kind of talked. He ain't nothing but the devil. You sure right. Because how could somebody have that much power over melanated people, but tells them nothing? You get what I'm saying? He ain't taught them nothing. He ain't telling them nothing. He sold out. The father told me that man was in the hospital dying. He was in real bad position. And he promised if he let him live, he would go back and tell the people the truth. And his intent was right. But when he got in there and the illness he was fully healed, but he asked him to let him live. And if you let me live, I will tell the people the truth. So he came out kind of talking about Christians then, but then he dropped it and went back into this. You know, he left these black people with nothing. Farrakhan is not dead. You know how Muhammad and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they dead. Why did they let you live? See, a lot of people don't know that. Why did Farrakhan get to live? Nobody questioned it. Even the people that put him on a pedestal, no one ever questioned him. Like they didn't question, what is his name? That man that he used to follow, who was having them little girls, having babies by all them little girls. No one ever questioned. How did they get away with that all that time? How do they get away with it to today? They won't march toward anything that has to do with black people. The only reason why they did it for Nipsey is because they saw the whole world responding to his death. That's why they wanted to get recognized. But they never come out to do nothing for melanated people. Never did. You don't hear them doing anything regarding what it said for them to do. See, they took their Quran, took a lot of verses out of the Bible to build their Quran. A lot of people don't know that, but that's how they got it. It's a lot of verses they took out of the King James Bible to build their Quran. But the sad part is about it, they are black people who think they got their heads so together. I don't care how you got your head together in this world, serving this world. representing this world and letting this world think that you're somebody when you have not shown that first and foremost you're a nobody, but yet you're somebody in the Most High, the Creator. See, they wants to call him every name they want to call him, like he just said. They want to make him like unto a man. You can't do that. Everything that you see, he done created. So how dare you bring him to the level of the flesh of a man? Oh, no, they don't want to deal with him unless they're able to bring him there. Farrakhan did not keep his word. And I, Sister Deborah, would tell any one of them. He did not keep his word by bringing the truth out when he was on his deathbed. Said the Most High Yah. And here he is still living, and he half-cocked. What I mean half-cocked, he won't come out with no truth. But the Father said he knows it. He just rather feed the people what his leader fed him and his leader fed him. They rather believe the lie. And the Father said he knows truth. Just like here. What did he say? Romans chapter 1. Listen to this. Because that which may be known of Yah is manifested in them, for Yah has shown it unto them. Okay? For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things which are made, even the eternal power and Godhead, so that they are not without excuse. So y'all can run around here and think. Most likely they smeared it, but when it all said and done, it's letting you know that the Father is checking you, me, and everybody else. Y'all can walk around here and act like he don't exist and he ain't all power. He ain't all authority. He ain't who he say he is. He don't even have to say who he is. Look at everything. You go out, take your tail outside and look up at the sky. See if it's dark or light and who did that. You see? So what he's saying is that when Farrakhan and them, they knew the truth, but they chose to serve an idol god on the earth, knowing the truth. Do you know Pharaoh steps into the truth sometimes and he back all the way out? Oh, yes. He'll turn around and talk about the Father and enough to know about the Father and Christ. Oh, yes. Yes, he will. But he'll back all the way out. Same thing I feel about Geno Jennings. I think he's an agent. Oh, yes. I believe he's some type of agent. He's not in it either, right? He's not in it either. These are people who survived. And how did they do it? You got Malcolm X there. You got Martin Luther King. Jesse Jackson and this other, what's that other Reverend, whoever he is, they were paid off to stay in line. And all of them was paid off. Farrakhan too. Y'all don't believe that. Don't believe Farrakhan is about the people. I don't care what he sit up there and say. And whoever take his place, I don't care who they are. It's impossible for you to have been given that opportunity to come and tell the people the truth. And here you is retired now and still didn't do what you said you promised y'all that you would do if he would let you live. And he still didn't give the truth to the people. And I myself would say to him, Yah is checking you right now. You sold yourself out. He sold all those brothers where they could have tried to find something else, but then all of them went in a different way. Our brothers, our men went all kind of ways, and they still going all kind of ways, bumping their heads here and there. Don't know if they're going or coming. They don't know they left or the right. And I sit back and I think about, I sit back and I think about even mine's. You marrying and you don't know what you're marrying. I got a nephew, a young lady married him. And I said, she have no idea what she married. I'm telling you. Is that my nephew? Yes. My son married. He had no idea what he married. You see? And already things starting to show up and they can't comprehend it. My oldest daughter, she's with someone, and I mentioned to her that everybody's marrying and getting with these people, and you don't even know what you're getting into. And I heard her say, because their parents never taught them anything. They didn't have to do anything. They just, I mean, how could you be involved with somebody who do nothing? I mean, like zip. And you know why I can say that? Because I got caught up in the same trap. I can tell some people a lot of things. I got caught up in the same trap. Then the Father keep reminding me something that's very powerful. It's very powerful. And he keep reminding me, he said, Deborah, you know, in there how they always grabbing where he said a man should leave his mother and father and he should cling to his wife and they shall become one. He said, Deborah, they lost the whole purpose. The whole overall. And you know, him saying that to me just goes right along with what I already feel, you know, the whole purpose and how I'm going to be able to add on to when they need me to minister to them. And that is get all the 7 verses where he said a man leaves his mother and his father and he cleave to his wife. Okay. And they become one. What y'all say, keep in mind, Deborah, one flesh. That ain't got nothing to do with me. See, 99.9 would have never given that a thought. That's where the problem is at. A male leaving his mother and father. He's cleaving to this wife. And they become one what? Flesh. What do that flesh has to do with y'all spirit? 0. So when he's getting this woman, he's getting her based on her flesh. You see? Based on her flesh. Because they become his flesh and her flesh one. Now they work as one flesh. That has nothing to do with spirit. So why these men running around here talking about we can give them a decree or we can give them a divorce? Look, one flesh. You married her based on flesh. That's have nothing to do with Yah. And that's what you see, and that's what you continue to see. People been doing. I think about my mother and father would have probably been married about 68 years now. Probably a little bit more than that. 68, probably 70 years. Yeah, something like 70 years now. When he died, they was, I think, married like 62, between 62 and 65 years. Married all that time as one flesh. Nothing spiritual was about that. Nothing. You see? She was miserable. And he was just living the tradition, married, and that's what happened to a lot of people in their families when they said my papa was a Rolling Stone, because these men done all this stuff way back in our grandparents' time. That's why today worse than yesterday. Not because today is a bad time. It's because it's a product of what was going on yesterday that was hidden. Now everything coming out. Everything coming out. You see, it's coming through the children. It's coming through the parents. All this sickness and wicked and evil is coming through the people, because it was always grandma, granddad. Look back at that. And I see back and think about us as a nation, as a tribe. And I think about how they have, our men has scoped this thing like, okay, women, you going under our feet and we're going to rule you, and you're going to do clean, and you're going to lay on your back, and you're going to have kids. Come on now. You see how they set that? While I can jump house to house, up the street, down the street, around the corner. I can do whatever I want. I can leave and never show back up. Do y'all know a lot of people never saw their fathers? Don't even know who their father is. Don't even know who their father family is. Y'all, it's so deep that you wonder, when Father, didn't you know all this was going on? Yes, he did. He knew it before the foundation of the world. You see? He ain't coming down here to get it right for nobody. He ain't coming down here to change it to make you do right because you crooked. No. He didn't do it then. He ain't doing it now. And when I was working at Christ, the elderly women, they used to tell me, when Deborah, my dad was a rolling stone. And this one lady, oh man, she was like 68 years old. And at that time, I was like 40, probably 42. Now I was 40 in 40. I was 40 because she was telling me about her mother was passing away. And she just had the question. She held on all the way up until her mother's was in the bed in the hospital dying. She said, "Why did you let him do all that to me?" She asked her mama, "Why did she let her do it to me?" And even Europeans talk to me about what their parents did to them. And I mean, they did some heavy beating on them, y'all, to where they was breaking bones, nose, everything. I mean, it's so much stuff. It wasn't just Judah. It was always, I'm telling y'all, it's so much bad stuff that happened yesterday. And we stand our stupid tails around today trying to make today better than yesterday. And he said, ain't no way today gonna look better than yesterday. It's worse than yesterday because it's the total product of yesterday living today, thinking they got away with it. And that's how it is. People didn't so content in this lifestyle of thinking that they're getting away with something and they living by their standards and their way, and they can't nobody tell me what to do with this, can't nobody tell me what to do with this. It's so much darkness. It is off the chain. And at that time, I thought that when was I just created to hear all this type of stuff when I was young like that. I mean, everywhere I worked, those were the stories. Those were the stories. And just looking back at it, even talking about it, you realize that how was that to be a man leave his mother and father and cling to a woman, and they are to become one flesh. And that's what he's been telling me for the last 2 weeks. Deborah, one flesh. And I keep saying to myself, why is it that I have to drill that? What is that he's saying? One flesh. Letting me know it didn't change who they are in their spirit. It just made them become one flesh. We were talking about how wrong was made to be right and right was made to be wrong. Not made. That's what it is today. And how good was evil changed good to evil, and good evil to good, and the light into darkness. And right today, people are so in tune with thinking if I get married, that is going, that's a good thing. And it is. It is. But nothing is good unless the good one is living in you. You see? So when he was wanting me to know that the switch up made everybody think that a man leaving his mother and father cleaving to his wife, and just because they cleaving together, they good. Look at Adam and Eve. You see? The first ones that they read. Look at them. You see what I'm saying? What good came out of that? Huh? After having everything perfect, everything good in the eyes of Yah, but what good come out of it? When he got her and now they're one. What good came out of it? Huh? You see? So when they're preaching and teaching, that alone should show people who are getting married. They need to have counseling. It's over now today. It's gone. The reason why I say that is I wonder, because I had to say this to someone that I was in that same situation. I think it was 6 years I was into my marriage. And I went before the altar, y'all. I went deep. I ain't lying. I went to the altar and I said, Father, y'all, I don't know what I did. I repent. Help me to do better. I don't know what it is that I've done to this man. That, this, it's my fault, my fault. And the Spirit said, no, baby. No, baby. This man came to you just as he is. You didn't do nothing with this or to this. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm the type of person that what you would actually call I ain't gonna say an A plus, but an A1 woman. I'm the type that does everything. Okay. And when I say everything a woman's supposed to do. That's just me. I like it. You see, I'm the one that believes that, okay, I have to make sure that he has everything. Everything is number one with him. You see, I'm thinking that I'm looking on this side and I'm not getting anything in return. You see, and I'm like saying, wait a minute, is this how I'm gonna have to live? Then I start having babies. And I'm saying, wait a minute, this ain't feeling good. Everything is, it got to the point where this man couldn't give anything toward the marriage. Nothing. So I'm like, wait a minute. Then I began to blame Yah. I said, you knew all this time that I will be putting 99% in, and he substitute give that 1%. It was very confusing. I couldn't understand and what I learned was this man that leaving his mother and father, if they don't give him the things that he need to go to a woman and clean to help the woman, and this is what happened. They're not. The man ain't having the father in the home. The man ain't having the mama in the home. The man ain't having nothing in the home. He ain't learning to even take out the trash, clean up the yard, wash his clothes, learning nothing. And then when they get that woman, now they bring in those ways to that woman, and they becoming one flesh. Vice versa. Same way with the woman. She ain't learned nothing. She ain't learned to clean, to wash, to clean up the house, to wash dishes. None of that. All she learned to do is to spin. But when you marry her, now y'all become one flesh. So you see how people run around here talking about, she don't want me in the house, or she won't work for. Only way a woman wants for work for is when the man ain't working and ain't doing what he's supposed to do to bring food into the house to try to pay for a roof over their head. These black men are so ignorant. They think that they've been saying that for so many years to where it become their truth. But the truth of the matter, you brought into this oneness the same thing your daddy brought with your mother. And he brought the same thing his mother, he brought with his grandmother, his mother, with his daddy. It's a cycle. Nothing. And it's a cycle. And it can also happen even with a female. It can happen with a female just as well as the wife as it is the husband, because their parents are not teaching them anything about coming together in the oneness to help out in a marriage. Or, like I always tell people, you prepare your sons for a wife. You prepare your daughter for a husband. That's the way I believe it. And then when I stood back, like yesterday, I stood back and I looked. And my mother, this is what my mother, I saw my mother yesterday. And when I stood back and my siblings and all of them was there because her son had getting ready to have a baby with this one lady. And I sit and said, this lady she's about to marry, my sister's She married him, not even understanding. I said she has no idea what she just married. Now she's pregnant. She finna have a baby. And she's real sharp. She's real sharp type of person. But women just want a man. And they don't know you're going to not have one child. You're going to have 2 and 3. Because she has a child. He has a child outside of the one she's about to have. But he has issues, y'all. You see, she has no idea what she's marrying. She's taking on responsibilities. It's like taking on another child. I don't know. I know y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But my mom, she was so happy to see me. And when she saw me, I believe she thought that they was giving her a birthday party. I really believe she thought they was giving her a birthday party. She had no idea. But she was telling me, she said, let me tell you, she said, they call me Booby. She said, at that wedding, your sons, she said they were dressed. They were sharp. My mother was just, she said, Booby, they just was the best sharp men in the whole place. And there's a lot of them there now. And I'm like saying, listening to her, she was just telling me how, and she said, those Browns, my ex-husband, she said, I know you dressed him. I said, yes, I did. You know I did. She said, I ain't never seen him like that. My mother said that. I ain't never seen him dressed like that. Let me tell you, I had to tell. I said, you see what he had on, Mama? She said, I said, yeah. She said, boy, he was dressed. My ex-husband. I said, yeah. And I paid $26 for his suit, jacket, his pants, his shirt, and his tie. Mama said, that's you. Mama said, that's you, because she know it. I don't care what. I can make something look like everything. And everybody was talking about how nice he looked. You see? And Mama said, I knew it. She said, you dressed them all. I said, no, I did all the haircuts and the shades, and the braiding and the locks. And I did all that. But they had to get their suits from the place they get their suits from, my oldest, Quiet Storm, where he got his suit, and that's where they got their suits. But I was telling her, she said, but and I kept wondering why my mom was smiling so at that wedding. Every time she looked over at them, she was just smiling like she was the happiest person. She really was. So she finally saw me yesterday, and she said, oh, you talking about Booby, them Browns. And you know what she said? She said, his wife had a big family, but then none of them look like your sons. and then she was just telling me about, she was just so happy how everything had turned out and everything. And she was just talking about them, her grandsons, and how they, oh my goodness, my mother was on that. But she was glad to see me and so on. But I think my mother thought they were giving her a birthday party. I really do. And that's kind of sad, because she came in, they giving a baby shower. I think she thought it was her birthday party. I really think she thought that way. And I think my mother's like 90, I think. But she drives herself. She stays in her own place. And, she does everything for herself. But I think she thought that. And like somebody like me, when they see me, oh, look who here. Because they know I don't I'm a loner. I can't be a loner because I got too many kids, but I'm one that I don't go to events and get involved in so and so. Only reason why I had to go is because they sent me an invitation. And I haven't been to the last, 8 or 9 invitations. I guess I shouldn't say that. That's not nice. So I decide, okay, I'll just go. And nobody was there. It was just, I don't know. But so much for that. But yeah, it was strange. I got to see. But yes, it's strange. And I still have not shown you all the wedding pictures, but I will get around to that. But did anybody have any questions? And see, that's another thing. When they worship, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not so much into the fact that they worship the white Jesus. You know what bothers me is when you know how he said, when you come to the knowledge of the truth, then they rather stick with the white Jesus because he's white, not because he's right, but because he's white. That leads you to understand that they're not even thinking or considering the true Yah, because Yah is a spirit. The Son of Man came through the tribe of Judah, so he's melanated. He was melanated. So they can't pull up a white Jesus and say that that was him. If they do, y'all don't get it. Y'all do not get it. That's what the Roman Catholic does. That's what the Christian does. When they serve as a different race, then they are nowhere near the true and living Yah. You see what I'm saying? See, because they're denying who he was when he came. So how is it that you saved and you in full denial, and you insist on serving someone of your own nationality, and the one that you say saved, and you got saved, and you worship and you serve never was your nationality, but yet you won't give it up. That's that perpetual hate. That's perpetual hate that's causing the Christians to hold on to the lie. Now, say for instance, they had no idea that that was the wrong Jesus. No. What I mean is it the word Jesus, or is it the word? No, it's not so much that it is. It's that they white. But when they make him white, that's the key. That's what I mean. When they make him to be another nationality, guess what? Every last one of them will go to hell. Every last one, not just the white people, blacks, anybody that makes the Son of Man white. See, it ain't that much as Jesus, but when they make him white, because Jesus is the way English pronounce it. Yeshua is the way we in our Hebrew call it. You go to China, they call it something else. You go to Russia, it's called something else. It's not going to be all over the world, Yeshua. Yeshua. That's what make me realize that the Hebrew Israelites cuckoo up here. Every country you go to, they call it something else. The name is something else. When we key up Jesus in Hebrew, it gives us the name in Hebrew. When we key it up in Hebrew for English, it gives us Jesus. You get what I'm saying? So this is why there are many of the Hebrew Israelites that still uses Jesus Christ. Because what we don't understand, what gets them is, if you're going to use the Jesus Christ, you're going to have to stick with still, he was born to the tribe of Judah. He was melanated. You see? You can't just make him his name, Jesus. That's how it's spoken in America. And then make him white. Then now you messed up. You hellbound now. And I spoke that to someone today because I wanted them to understand when you finish doing all this search about over in Israel and what they doing and they did this and they doing this, when you finish, you messed up as well as they are. Because you calling them somebody they are not. But yet you upholding this biblical and you digging so deep in it, you pulling out some truth, but you living a lie. And I don't think, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I don't think they living a lie because they don't know. I think they know 100%. I think they know 100%. But they cannot give up that perpetual hate to switch over to truth and make it the truth. Because they can take the truth and still run with it. It's not about your truth or their truth. It's about the truth of who gonna be living in me. And this is why they can't inherit the Ruach. This is why the Ruach ain't gonna come in them. This is why they don't have no Holy Ghost. They think speaking in tongue is the Holy Ghost. You see, they think shouting is the Holy Ghost. A lot of it is the reactions of feelings. If I had to be the interpreter of their tongues, it would bring them all to shame. Because I would have to tell them exactly what they said, and it would bring them all to shame. Because the Ruach ain't going to come up like that. First thing he said you're going to do, you're going to receive the Ruach, and it's going to give you power. Power. Do you think these people in this Christians got power? They ain't got nothing. How could you have anything and you don't have not one truth? You prefer the lie because it's more comfortable for you to pretend that you are spiritual or you are a child of the Most High. And I sit back and watch these European men lead these churches and these congregations, lead these YouTube, and they be talking and talking and talking, and they are so far from the reality of truth. And that's just a simple part. Yeah, I'm talking about like Farrakhan. You think Farrakhan don't know that Yeshua was melanated? You think Farrakhan don't know about Christ being the power? You think Farrakhan don't know that Muhammad wasn't a rat's behind? You think he don't know? He know. But what has happened, people done sold their spirit off. It was already sold off in the kingdom, but I'm just still saying they done sold their spirit on the earth to the highest bidder. Seriously, many people have. Many have sold their spirit to the highest bidder. And that's where they're resting. That's where they're content. They don't have no problem. This is where they enjoy. This is where they are set right there. And that's why it's no change. And that's why he said, don't look for change. Don't look for even the increase. Look for the decrease. Because that's, to you all, you might just look at it as something. But to me, that's scary. Because that decrease ain't talking just decrease as the definition of decrease. It's speaking of something else too, I think. Look for decrease. So it's got to be something I'm going to see. What's going to decrease, Father, y'all? You see? See, when you hear me saying it, you might taking it, he said decrease, and no. It's deeper than just decreasing. Look for decrease. Look as if in the natural you're going to see something decrease. In which way is that decrease? What is decreasing meaning? And right now, in this day, All right. I think I've spent. How come they don't make his name Joshua? Because Joshua, who took over after Moses, and Yeshua had the same name. Yep. Wait, time out. I don't know why I don't know where they get from. What I've heard that picture is a female. That's what I heard. But it matches the Roman Catholic. When you really get to do your real study and see the deepness of Satan's a team, the Roman Catholic, when you see Satan's team, the Roman Catholics, you be like, oh, they the deepest darkness. And they don't have no shame in it. And a lot of them ain't even hiding it, even though they using Christians as a shield. I know the synagogue of Satan is speaking of they are the synagogue of Satan. He's letting you know that they are the ones that worship Satan in the synagogue. And see, a lot of us thinking they just over there. No, they run this country because this country they own. And we be sitting around with our dumb self thinking, well, why are they giving this to Israel? Why are they giving them all this money? They own you. They own this land. This is the synagogue of Satan. That's why I say, if you really want to teach and preach this thing right, all you have to do is make sure people understand that this is the place that Satan resides. This is where his seat is assigned. So while we sit up in here and we trying to make it, this country, all this and then top waiting for voting, some old ignorant people waiting for voting. And then you got those that's already sold their spirit. They sold out. Their spirit is already sold out to darkness. They waiting for Donald Trump to make it great again, instead of trying to prepare their eternal life and their eternal life and the living and doing what is right, getting together and doing what is right. And you see how this is how a lot of y'all don't understand a lot of stuff. This is how they did it. See, they thought that the Europeans thought when the immigrants were coming to this country, they just going to put them in the Black community and they're going to take over us. They're going to overpower us. That's what they thought. The white people thought that, you see. But then when they start to bring them everywhere, even in their community, now they're ready for them to leave. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with Chicago. They went over there thinking, oh, yeah, let him go and send the army over there to Chicago. All that crime in Chicago where those Black people at. When you really sit your butt down and look at the news and you see all them Europeans out there fighting ISIS out there, they cutting up. You don't see no Blacks. None. You might see one, maybe two. But the majority of them are Europeans. See, because what they thought is, and in this country, they thinking, okay, they doing, let them do it. Let them go off to them Black people. See how they are? And y'all will make it turn against them. Because that's really who they after, y'all. A lot of us thinking they after us. They know they have already defeated us. We've been over here 400 years, and they done whooped us to where we can't get whooped no more. So what is their next move? The only thing they would do to us is strip us from whatever little we have so that we can go get out here and act the fool so they can have a reason to have the other race to come to take us out. But the other race is taking themselves out at great numbers. And not only that, now in Chicago, look at all them people out there. White. See, they thought it was going to be Black people fighting against that. No, see, that's what they tell you of that. They tell you. They even tell us the percentage in Chicago is mostly Blacks. And that's a lie. They tell you all these lies. But that's the way they get you. They think they're doing something. And they think they're doing something by hanging our Black men. Now, where is Louis Farrakhan and his army? Where is Jesse Jackson? I probably think he on his last leg. Where is Reverend whatever his name is? Where is any Black leaders? Where is all the Muslims? And where is all of? They all sold out. They've been sold out. And this stuff that they're doing, they are hanging them every week, and ain't nobody standing up saying anything. You got all these brothers on these devil platforms talking negative about the women, and the women should be fed up with these men around about that. Leave them alone. Let them go head on. You should be tired. You should only want Yah. You should be tired. You ain't getting nothing out of it but a headache and a hard way to go. I'm sitting back and I think about how I even was crying to the Father. I said, you, you made me give him 35 years of my life. For what? Until I realized, okay, in them 35 years, weren't you so busy till it caused you to be humble? Because I had to do so much. I had to do everything. Everything. To where I didn't have time to do nothing else. So I made sure I stayed in tune with Yah and did everything. And I mean everything. I mean like everything. Raised all those kids by myself. I wouldn't dare tell somebody I had a husband in the house that helped me raise. I wouldn't dare tell nobody that lie. I did it all by myself. So I know I can tell somebody something. And a lot of people are marrying and don't understand exactly what that means for them. They have no idea. You're marrying something that somebody didn't teach them how to do this, so they get them ready. With mine, that's what I taught them. I taught them how to cook, wash your clothes, clean up. They even seen me do it, but they know how. Don't go into no one and marry someone, male nor female, daughter or son, and get into marriage and don't do nothing. You know, that's crazy. That's crazy. Most women think they doing something because they doing everything and don't even understand you gave up your whole living. Now it's time for you to go in the earth. And you didn't think you done something. You ain't done nothing. You ain't done nothing. So I just thank the Most High Yah for allowing me to just be in him and him in me. Not more so him and me. And allowing me to be abide in him, but I still say more so him and me and dealing with me. Because that's my hope. That's my tomorrow. That's my today. And I'm just grateful for just resting right there. You know. Sister Deborah could be out dating. I'm serious, you guys. I ain't got time for it. Because it's the same thing. You don't know what that somebody didn't left or had. You don't even go that way. Don't even think that way. So Sister Deborah said, anybody have any questions before I tune out? Yep. So Sister Deborah said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And I say shalom and shalom. Thank you.